You are listening on Apple Podcast. Yes, it is going. Currently contemplating life. Ooh. Oh, all right. Okay. So, where do we start? Where do you want to start? Let's start in prize picks. All right. It's in the third quarter. Okay. I need 1 point from Klay Thompson for a 25x. 1 point. Klay Thompson, no Steph Curry, no Draymond, no Wiggins. The game's close. Yeah, it's a lock to hit. I mean, come on, right? It is a lock to hit. There's no chance. There's no chance Klay's going over a full quarter without scoring 1 point to screw me. No way. That's not possible. But oh, wait. Do you remember who made this slip? It's me. And if you guys are not familiar on this channel, there's no one that runs worse. In the history of DFS sports gambling, there's no one that runs worse. You better believe Klay Thompson went over a full quarter without scoring 1 point. All right, let's take a look at DFS, right? DFS. All right, so looking at it, and we're like, all right, we get the Golden State starting lineup. And Kuminga not in the starting lineup. So his minutes obviously take a hit. Knew he was going to be giga chalk, right? So it was very smart to pivot off Kuminga at his ownership. So I go from Jordan Clarkson and Jonathan Kuminga, Klay Thompson, and Malik Beasley. Not only does Klay cost me over $1,000 on Prize Picks, but also hooks me on Prize Picks, also hooks me on DraftKings. The answer is yes. I entered the fourth quarter showdown, won a good amount of money back, and I came in 6th place in the night slate. Was this close to takedown there too. All right. So yeah. Oh yeah. The people that keep Jonathan Kuminga at 70% ownership not only go unpunished, but are rewarded. Yeah, Klay Thompson had a great shooting game. 8 of 96. Blowout in the Lakers-Raptors game. I can't really tilt about it because I knew that was the risk. The Anthony Edwards, I mean, the Faders don't deserve him getting 6 steals. Come on. You faded him. You don't deserve that pain. But, yeah, I mean, I have Clarkson and Kuminga, and I make the sharp pivot to get off Gigachalk Kuminga, and I'm punished for it. 40 bomb for 70% owned Kuminga. Shoots 103% from the field. So, I am empty inside. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, this one's going to take a while to recover from. Going to take a while. But yeah, guys, it was still a profitable night for me. I still made like $400 on Prize Picks. I still profited a bit on DraftKings, but I just... You can't make it up, right? Like, you cannot make this up. And it's just, again, both these things, right? Just further proof. Or write it down. Etch it in the stone. Not one single person on this planet that runs worse, especially after tonight. Klay Thompson literally cost me like $2,000, all right? And I will never forgive him for this, and I will never forgive him for the day in DFS where I faded him like 7 years ago against the Kings, and he went for like 90 points in one quarter. He will never be forgiven for those two things. All right, guys. So if you're new, welcome. My name is DK. We'll be talking about the 3-game NBA slate on Thursday. If you guys are looking for more in-depth content, go check my Patreon link down below. A lot of people had won big money tonight, so that was good to see. And if you guys are, again, so you can check out the Patreon, and the sponsor of the video is Prize Picks. You can use the code DKDFS for a 100% match up to $100. And if you're not familiar, it is a player prop site. You build 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 player props. Can win up to 25x your money. But if you go 5 for 6, you 2x your money. I'm really just like, I'm trying to think of what else. I'm just like, I'm speechless, guys. I am literally speechless. I'm speechless at the events that occurred. That's all I have to say. I'm speechless. All right, so Clippers and Heat first game here. I have no idea who's playing on both sides of the ball. John Wall sat tonight, but I think he'll be good to go for tomorrow. They say Marcus Morris has an illness. Powell, I guess, is dealing with a groin. And Luke Kennard's been out for a bit. He came back last game, but it was injury management, so he should be back. Paul George also said he's going to play tomorrow, but they limited his minutes. Neither him or Kawhi played in overtime. Kawhi Leonard, I would be pretty surprised if he plays in the back-to-backs. I'm guessing we don't see Kawhi. So I'm guessing that Wall will be available, Morris will be available, Kennard will be available. We'll see about Powell. I don't think you see Kawhi Leonard. Paul George himself at 9-2. They've been taking it easy on his minutes first couple games back. So unless we hear that the minutes restriction is off him, I still cannot get to him. Zubac at 6'5", more just a tournament play. Wall and Reggie Jackson will split the point guard duties. They're both fine. Morris, if he plays, is playable. Should play 30-plus minutes. If he misses, we saw Nick Batum start and play huge minutes last game. If he starts again, he would be a playable value. Terrence Mann had a really good game tonight, but I think that was more of an outlier. Clippers, we'll keep an eye on the news. It's a little bit hard to say right now, but assuming most of these guys play tomorrow, pretty unappealing team. All right, moving on to the Miami Heat. So I think the only true questionable player is Jimmy Butler. I think everyone else is probable. And then Dedmon, I believe, is also questionable. So the Jimmy Butler news is huge, right? If Jimmy Butler is in, then, I think Bam and Hero are fine plays. Those would probably be my two favorite, and Jimmy would be fine too, but there wouldn't be a ton I would love. If Jimmy's out, then the main guys look good. Hero, Bam and Adebayo, they're just playing huge minutes right now. They also got pulled with a couple minutes to go in that blowout last game. Al Lowry had like 72 steals. He's a fine option in the mid-range as well. Again, if there's no Jimmy Butler, you should see Strus and Caleb Martin both start. Strus, very score independent. Martin, low usage guy. Oladipo also expected to play. He played 19 minutes in his first game back. He's fine for tournaments. Probably it for Miami. All right, Houston and San Antonio. So this is probably the most appealing game on the slate. Two bad teams going up against each other. Two teams that play very little defense. And so really, really like this game for this small slate. Kevin Porter Jr. is questionable with right knee soreness. I assume he'll play, but we'll keep an eye on it. And the minutes have been really high on both these guards. They played 44 minutes last game. I believe that game went to overtime. I don't think that game was in regulation. But they're playing huge minutes either way, KPJ and Jalen Green. I like both quite a bit. I think the floor is a bit higher in KPJ. I think the ceiling, if Jalen Green really hits his shots, is high. If Kevin Porter Jr. is out, then Jalen Green will shift to the point guard position. He would look amazing. But again, I'm assuming Kevin Porter Jr. plays. My boy Sengun's been a bit quiet of late. Minutes have ticked down. Played 34 minutes last game and fouled out, but didn't do much. I think it's an interesting buy low opportunity on him. We know the ceiling is there for Sengun, right? We went for 65 a couple weeks ago. And it's a good matchup too. So I do like some Sengun. We'll see what the ownership is on him. Jabari Smith also been playing a ton. I think we get 30-plus minutes from him. He's a decent option in the mid-range, assuming he can stay out of foul trouble. My boy Tari Eason, my pick for the Rookie of the Year, looking good. If you can just play him more, I've literally been just pounding the table for that. Why? Can someone realistically give me an answer for why we are playing Tari Eason 15 to 20 minutes a night when the Rockets have nothing to play for? And it's not like he's playing really well too. It's like play him 30 minutes a night. What are we doing here? So Eason, solid for tournaments, as is KJ Martin at 4-1, should play around 20 minutes. Eric Gordon should play, low 30s minutes. I think he's a solid value. I don't really think I can get to anyone else. Fernando's questionable with an illness. He's been playing the backup five. I guess if he's out, you probably get backup five run for Garuba, but that is the Rockets. Moving on to the Spurs. So the only thing that can ease the pain of tonight. Interest you in $7,600 Keldon Johnson. Who has literally shot negative 2% from the field over the last 3 weeks. But yeah, Keldon at this game is competitive. I mean, I think he looks really good. If he can have a normal shooting game, I mean, it's a great matchup. You got no Pirtle, no Bates Diop, no Sohan. Vassell's doubtful, so Keldon going to be the go-to guy. I think he looks really good, but he'll probably continue to shoot 1% and burn people. Trey Jones at 6'4", should start, should play low 30s minutes. I think he's a pretty safe option, a guy that, can stuff a stat sheet. Zach Collins also been in massive foul trouble every single game. If he can stay out of foul trouble, he's a really good play. But this guy can't keep his hands to himself. So I like Zach Collins' upside, but again, he's just always in foul trouble. Again, no Bates Diop, no Sohan. You got Richardson, McDermott, and Langford all probable, so I'm expecting them to play. So I think the starting lineup, assuming Vassell doesn't play, will be Trey Jones, Richardson, McDermott, Keldon, and Zach Collins. But you just never know with Pop. He's going to do something stupid. He's going to throw one of these random guys in the starting lineup. You'll probably get, right before the game starts, Devin Vassell will go from ruled out to starting, and someone else will get ruled out. The nonsense has been happening all season. I'm really tired of it. Really tired of Pop. But so value-wise, if Richardson and McDermott both start, they're solid plays. My only issue with Richardson is he hasn't played in 3 weeks, so they could take it easy on his minutes. McDermott also been out for a bit as well. So that's the concern with those two guys. Bassey, right now, he's playing the backup 5, and he's been playing about 20 minutes a game because Zach Collins continues to get in foul trouble. So he's definitely playable for tournaments. Roby probably sees somewhere in the neighborhood of 15-ish minutes. Good point per minute guy. He's playable. Branham, been seeing, some rotation minutes off the bench with Langford back. I mean, maybe Langford takes some minutes away from him. But that's the Spurs. I cannot wait to get popped tomorrow. And finally, Denver and Portland. So Denver, no Michael Porter Jr. KCP is probable. Jokic had a quiet game last game, but I think he's a nice bounce back candidate tomorrow, like Jokic. Murray also struggled, dealt with some foul trouble, but he's still a decent option in the mid-range. Of course, Aaron Gordon, the one guy who needed to have an average game last night and I would have taken down, goes for 42 fantasy points. Career game best for Aaron Gordon. He's just there. Last game was an outlier. Most of the time he's going to give you, around 30 fantasy points. Bruce Brown should continue to start and play low 30s minutes. A guy that can stuff the stat sheet. Doesn't really stand out, though. KCP 4-2, played 30 minutes. He's a 3-and-D guy, so he's very reliant on his scoring. And if he doesn't hit his shots, he can hurt you. But when he, has a decent shooting game, 5-9, he can put up a reasonable score. So he's playable value. Bones Highland came right back to his normal role and played a ton off the bench, played 30 minutes total. Did get extended a bit because Jamal Murray foul trouble, but he's always someone I like for GPPs because he's a good point per minute guy. And when he finds his way into more minutes, he can really, really smash. Jeff Green's 3-3, played 18 minutes last game. I don't think it's necessary on the slate. Ish Smith got a DNP. I don't think I want to mess with any of these other Denver values. And then finally, Portland. So, we got Josh Hart probable and Drew Eubanks probable. So almost a fully healthy team now. Not a ton that stands out for the Blazers. A lot of these guys are priced up from when, they were really shorthanded and now they're getting healthy. So Lillard 9-7, fine for GPP. So we know, ceiling is 50 plus for him, but definitely not a priority. I think Simons and Grant are a bit overpriced with Lillard back. So a little bit tough for me to pay almost 9K for Simons or 7-4 for Grant. I think Nurkic, if he can stay out of foul trouble, would probably be my favorite play because I think they need him against Jokic. The only downside is, he can definitely get into foul trouble against Jokic. So that's the worry there. Josh Hart at 6-1 feels a bit pricey. And then, so they're most likely going to start Lillard, Simons, Hart, Grant, Nurkic. Sure, you're going to see Winslow move back to the bench. I still think he probably sees mid-20s minutes, but he feels a bit pricey. Watford at 3-5 should go back to very limited minutes. Eubanks will play the backup 5. I mean, if you think Nurkic gets in some foul trouble, you can take a shot on him because he would get extended if Nurkic gets in foul trouble. But not a ton that stands out for me on the Blazers. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Again, I am in the most amount of pain possible. I will probably not be sleeping tonight. And so thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my tilting, and we'll see you guys in the next video.